Click the subscribe button below. If you find the information useful, please click the like button, to help others find our content. For more information you can visit our website, at thejerusalemassembly.org.
The Jerusalem Assembly. March 14, 2019, and now, what is next? By Ruben D. Garcia. How often do we ask ourselves what is next, after any event, situation, or any ordinary inconvenience that can influence our daily state of mind? Greetings, my beloved readers and friends. Since my last posted article on November 2018, I had to deal again with some medical issues that required immediate attention. However, I am finally able to continuing pursuing my spiritual writings and bring you the ongoing trend of our divine ascension to a higher spiritual realm from which humanity consciousness, our way of thinking, would have a radical change, integrating forever a divine inception toward peace, love, compassion as never seen in human history. This spiritual awareness that will change all humans is beyond measure and will affect every one of us without exceptions. Back in November's article, I emphasized the value of the number 11, or at least the significance of a date that was corresponding to a spiritual disclosure affecting humanity as a whole. But this date was but another chapter of many significant other numbers that were contributing to a brand new spiritual journey for all mankind since December 21, 2012. It was this date that began what I called in my novel, God's Chosen Ones, the Divine Clock. It was the start of a set of episodes, circumstances, acts, and in some cases unveiling confessions impacting our human consciousness, finally culminating on December 31, 2040. This unprecedented dramatic spiritual period of 28 years can be described as critical, emancipating, and of course, revealing. It is not as chaotic as in the sense of the biblical sense as we have been conditioned to believe in, but a spiritual evolutionary transition in which all of humanity will be affected at any point of that 28-year period. Within those 28 years are four stages or levels of what today I will refer to as a spiritual retrofits. Each stage or level comprises of seven years. The first stage or level is called the awakening, just as the Bible describes it in Romans 13:11. It began on December 21, 2012 and will be completed on December 31, 2019. Therefore, we are at the end of the first stage, having completed 6 years of the first stage. Throughout those 6 years, we have witnessed dramatic changes in the social, economic, and psychological aspects of humanity, simply putting it, from social unrest, financial shortcomings, and even spiritual conflicts within the churches and church leaders. Called it simply, a humanistic emancipation of historical proportions, not within our hearts but our minds, our consciousness, affecting all of us in way or another. Currently, the majority of the people around the world are oblivious of this spiritual awakening directed or controlled by a higher order or divine being. However, it is real and it is happening as we speak. The reason for such almost stealth divine manifestations on humanity has to do with us, humans. The perception of our lives, our learning, our attitudes, and principles of how things work in our daily lives is what limit us in recognizing the ongoing spirituality affecting all of humanity. Nevertheless, there are a significant number of people around the world recognizing that something is changing, not within themselves but with their environment. It is this awareness that creates the spirituality that is essential to recognize what is taking place. Somehow, through a degree of open-mind approach, you can begin to discern what is taking place throughout humanity. All you have to do is observe the local, nation and even global news being out of tune with the actual path of humanity. There is very little humanistic related news. All that can be seen is news coded and immersed in hatred, revenge, egotism, that creates a sort of emotional and social despotism, and those exercising are creating animosity that separates us from each other. It is this social principle that is the essence of this first 7 years. We have seen it throughout the world where leaders of powerful dynasties have collapsed or done away with it. These and many other aspects of this awakening are contributing to alter our consciousness with a divine purpose to unite and not disintegrate humanity. These simple concepts or curious attitude manifested within the individual affords the opportunity to recognize that the world of humanity is going through a period of spiritual incubation, and everything he or she does is all within his or her control and not of others as it was in the past. Consequently, just as in the previous 6 years of Stage 1, the points of spiritual demarcation for March 2019 is coming up very soon. These divine points are easily recognized by their numerology. For example, September 9, 2019 can be read as 9-9-9. Such concept is known as synchronicity, and that has been the main, vital aspect of this first stage, 2012 to 2019. Consider this to be the clock that wakes you up at the desired time you need to get up. In accordance with this divine timeline are other vital aspects that contributes the awakening, as that is the stages of the moon, such when it is full moon or new moon, and throughout the Bible these seem to be true. On a full moon a specific set of episodes, events, or acts are set to take place. It can be from an earthquake or various earthquakes. This period can include storms, droughts, epidemics, black plague, and bountifulness, Genesis 41:5, 54. However, there is one rare period worth observing when all aspects of time, space, and divine providence can come together, and that is when the numbers within a date are not only individually of a divine makeup but are also divisible by an important event created by God. For example, on March 21, 2019 is one of these climatic period in which a major manifestation can take, for it not only corresponds to a numerical order of 3, the Trinity concept, March 21, 2 plus 1 equals 3, and the year 2019, 2 plus 0 plus 1 equals 3, and if you take the 9 in 2019 is divisible by 3. But this not all, adding 2019 is equal to 12, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 equals 12/4 equals 3. This is critical to understand the value of the dates within each episode of each year and the effects it has in humanity's consciousness. And there is no greater point of significance as it will be on March 21, 2019, because to seal it all, the moon is in its full phase, but most important, it takes place during an equinox period, and it is unprecedented for this year, commencing with a spirit of rejuvenation. It is during this sole precise moment when things really gets divinely interesting, because humanity will experience the greatest intervention from God in the heavens realm since the creation of man, Genesis 1-26. So what can we expect for March 21, 2019? Well, most of it will be spiritual and emotional transitions with some physical manifestations. Your questions may be, what spirituality? Some of you since September 2018, the 25th to be exact, have been experiencing a closer relationship with your God and Christian beliefs. Others have experienced a new approach to charity, compassion, and love. In extreme cases, some of you have made changes, job, relationships, or personal attitudes, that have set you on a new path of righteousness. All of these and some others are the results of your consciousness, mind, taken steps to improve you and others. How were these changes done? You will ask. Well, that is in the realm of the divine and his agenda. By some explanations it was done directly conveyed to your mind and heart via your soul and strengthened through your divine spirit, Genesis 2:7. God sent his divine influence in the form of a spiritual divine wave that reached the earth and touched all of us with different results according to our beliefs in him, our spiritual background, and of course, our emotional state. These divine waves came as subtle influences in our way of seeing, perceiving, initially and slowly developing into a more complex understanding of yourself, your loved ones, your environment, and even your religious approach or stand. Therefore, March 21, 2019 will be one unprecedented day, I can assure you of this. But it does not end there, because that is just the beginning of a continued spiritual metamorphosis that will continue for weeks, months, and even years for some, because our state of mind or consciousness. Simply put, there will be many people who, are subjugated to remain in the proverbial mindset or box, cannot comprehend or at least become aware that significant divine changes that are taking place now, directed and orchestrated by our divine and infinite Creator to return and be with Him in a closer relationship as never seen by humanity because of their learning and upbringing. However, for those that have been feeling these changes and noticing them and maintaining an open mind, I say, congratulations! It is up to you now to help your loved ones, your neighbors and friends to understand it all, because on March 21, 2019 everything is going to change in all aspects of humanity, but most important in the way you think. Galatians 4:19-23. More will be provided relating to the three coming stages that are going to be more than an eye-opener in the next articles. Please, stay prepared, be ready, be glad and willing to accept the gifts from a Supreme Creator been offered throughout 2019, for that what we now accept gladly will be our spiritual mainstay for the period 2020 to 2040 from a God that has nothing more for us than an infinite love for us all, not only by taking just few of us, Matthew 24:40, but all of us to rise to such loving relationship with God and the universe at the appointed time according to our spiritual balance and consciousness. And so it is. And so it shall be. Namaste to you all.